Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to show you how to install a Fumoto oil drain valve, which is this thing right here. The part number for the Lotus is F103N, and the N signifies this little attachment right here. The F103 does not have this long little thing. So if you find that you don't have clearance with this attachment on your vehicle, you can get the F103 and it should fit. But for the Lotus and 2ZZ engines, this would be F103N would be the perfect size. I use Pentosin high performance 5W40 on my Lotus. You might have seen on my previous oil change video that I was using Mobil 1 turbo diesel, which is still an approved oil that you can use. My preference has just changed to Pentosin. I feel that it's a more higher quality motor oil, so that's what I decided to use personally. And I've also changed the oil filter. I'm using a Mobil 1 Extended Performance M1209, what I was using before, and you can see, I'll show you down here, is the K&N HP 2009, I believe. So the reason that I've switched to Mobil 1 is because they've stopped manufacturing the K&N in the United States. They started manufacturing them in Mexico, and the internals are slightly different, and they are not the same oil filter that they used to be. So I'm going with the Mobil 1 Extended Performance M1209. So for this, you'll also need a socket, a 14mm deep socket. That way you can kind of go through that little section right there so you can cover it, or you can use an open-ended 14mm wrench. So let's get started by jacking up the car and placing it under jack stands and removing that under tray, which you can see is already off. 3 8mm bolts on the left, 3 8mm bolts on the right, and 6 8mm bolts in the center, which I've actually shown in my transmission fluid change video how to do that. So really quickly, the quickest way is to use a 90-degree gun to take them off. So that's the best way. So let's get started on this. First, you want to make sure that the packaging is correct. You open the packaging and you want to make sure that this washer is on there correctly. And of course, this is made in Japan. And so basically it's going to screw in this way, keep going until I would say this is to the top. And the direction of this, so basically how this works is you have this valve right here. This is going inside your oil pan, and you have this valve. When the valve is in this position inside the groove, it is closed. You can test that by blowing through here, and you should not have any air coming out of that side. And to open it, you just move it to that slot. So I can do it with one hand, so it's pretty easy to do. So just move it to that slot, and then you can see it is open. You can actually see it. So it's actually open. You can see it change color as I move. So you can see that it's open, and then you close it. So once it's closed, you can see there's a block off plate that blocks it off. So once you know how that works, you don't want to install it in the open position, because if you pour in oil, it will drain out. So make sure that it is locked, and that you blow through one of the ends, and you know for sure that it's closed. So let's get started on taking out the oil drain plug. So you might ask yourself, why do I need a Fumoto oil drain valve? Well, the complete honest answer is you really don't need one, but if you have one, it makes your life slightly easier. The reason is you'll save a little bit of time during each oil change. and you'll save possible damages to your oil pan if you take your car to get it serviced at just any other shop. This doesn't necessarily have to be a Lotus. They have these valves for every car, and as a matter of fact, I have a 2015 Toyota Tacoma, the 6-cylinder, and on that car this would be absolutely perfect because it will make the oil change so much easier. You just place it into the oil drain, or the oil pan, and when you want to drain the oil, you just open the valve and it will just drain out. You don't have to use any sockets or ratchets to open the plug, close the plug, change the washers. You just install it one time and it's good. And it's really good for the Tacoma because the oil filter is actually placed up into the engine bay upright, so you can just open the hood and remove the oil filter that way. So I just have to just crawl under the car. I don't even need to jack up the car. I just open the valve, let the oil drain, close the valve back up, and take the oil filter out, and it should make it a 5-minute oil change at most. So it will just save you time depending on the vehicle. I'm hoping to keep this car for the rest of my life, but that might just save me some time in the future. So it's just a cool little thing to be able to do. So for that reason, I picked one up, and I just wanted to show you guys how you install it and how it works. So now for the oil change, 14mm socket on this, and if you had the valve, you wouldn't have to do that. I've had some questions in the past from people that ask me, what do I use for the oil filters to take them off? This is what I use. I really like this tool. It's by OEM. The part number is 25017. So oil filter removal claw, I think is what they called it. I don't remember exactly, but basically as you tighten it with the ratchet, all you do is put a ratchet over it, and as you tighten the ratchet, this tightens up, so it grabs onto the oil filter and it comes out really easily with this. No other tool that I've used has worked this well, so I strongly suggest you pick one up. If you do a lot of oil changes, it will save you a lot of time. Okay guys, so it's been a year since the oil change. No, I'm just kidding. I just wanted to do a quick demonstration on how it works. I did put some fresh oil in there, so I just want to show you really quick. All you have to do, put the valve down and pull it, and then bam, there you can see the oil coming out, and just close the valve, and then that's it. So seems like it works pretty good. And just wipe that off, and theoretically just change the oil filter after it drains, and you're done. So that's pretty nifty right there. So I just want to demonstrate that really quick.